Hello and welcome to St. Lucia Magazine, a weekly news program reviewing key developments across various sectors in healthcare, education, the economy, infrastructure, and agriculture. I am Kishma Seri. In this week's recap, the Republic of China, Taiwan offers more scholarships to St. Lucian students, and St. Lucia has taken strategic actions to safeguard St. Lucia's food security. This is St. Lucia Magazine. In our top story, Taiwan will receive the largest cohort of St. Lucian students to date since the inception of its scholarship program. Claudia Monlouis reports.
This year, Taiwan has significantly increased the number of scholarships offered to St. Lucian students, marking the highest allocation since the program's inception in 2007. St. Lucia's ambassador to Taiwan and former Minister for Education, Dr. Robert Luis, this week expressed his elation at the achievement of the largest scholarship cohort to date, and extended heartfelt praise to the government of Taiwan for this generous gesture.
From 2007, the Taiwanese began opening the ICDF scholarships and the MOFA scholarships to St. Lucia. So that is a bond, and this year we are getting 44 young St. Lucians going to Taiwan on scholarship. So that means more St. Lucians have been exposed to Taiwan's educational system.
The ambassador also had encouraging words for the scholarship applicants who were not successful this time around. He encouraged them to remain persistent, explore other avenues, as well as to never give up their academic ambitions.
Never apply to a scholarship once and think you don't make it, that you give up. I mean, I applied for scholarships many times, sometimes as many as 4 times, and sometimes you get through on the 4th occasion. But of course, there are other avenues.
Ambassador Robert Luis highlighted several alternative pathways to higher education, including the UWI Open Campus Program, other government-funded scholarships, and accredited online degree programs. On Tuesday, July 15, 2025, a special briefing under the auspices of the Minister for Education, the Honorable Sean Edward, along with Ambassador Dr. Robert Luis and other Ministry of Education officials, was held to meet and brief the new cohort. The meeting was held at the National Skills Development Center, NSDC, in Bizet-Castries. Last year, 2024, a total of 35 St. Lucian students secured scholarships from Taiwan across various programs.
The Joint Ministerial Task Force established to monitor and evaluate changes in the United States trade policy has announced strategic actions to safeguard St. Lucia's food security.
The Ministry of Agriculture has been tasked with developing a detailed strategic response to strengthen St. Lucia's food security in the face of external shocks, including recently imposed U.S. tariffs. Acting Deputy Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security and Rural Development, Dr. Randall Esnad, revealed that a 5-year strategic plan covering 2025 to 2030 had already been submitted to Cabinet. This plan focuses on expanding exports, reducing food imports, and engaging youth in the agriculture sector.
The plan focused on the expansion on export expansion, value-added import substitution or reduction, and of course, placing a great emphasis on youth engagement in agriculture. We are going to work with the relevant stakeholders to conduct an investigation or an assessment of the local animal feed that is produced here in St. Lucia versus that which is imported. And the reason for that is to really address the issues from our farmer stakeholders in terms of the quality of the animal feed that is produced here versus what is imported. This does have implications for the quality of the animals that are produced, both poultry and pork, both of which are highly imported from the United States.
One of the main priorities is assessing the quality of locally produced animal feed, especially given the volume of poultry and pork currently imported from the U.S. Dr. Thomas Samuel, Trade Advisor in the Ministry of Commerce, Manufacturing, Business Development, Cooperatives and Consumer Affairs, confirmed Cabinet's approval of this assessment as part of a larger strategy to make local poultry farming more profitable.
As you may be aware, a lot of our poultry comes from the U.S. And so as part of an ongoing effort to boost national food production and poultry production in the livestock sector, this initiative is aimed at addressing the challenges in that area. Another recommendation that was approved by the cabinet, was the need to prepare a financing plan for the implementation of a strategic initiative to boost food production over a period 2025-2027. Thirdly, there is need to establish a multi-sectoral task force to spearhead the development of that National Food and Nutrition Security Policy and Action Plan. And that task force would comprise of various ministries: agriculture, health, commerce, education, and equity, and to be able to implement the objectives and plans to ensure that we realize that boost in production of food, to mitigate our exposure or the fallout from the shock caused by the change in the U.S. policies.
Finally, the Attorney General's Chambers has been instructed to prioritize the finalization of sanitary and phytosanitary legislation, which is critical to safeguarding the country's food system. The Ministry of Agriculture must submit the finalized implementation plan and meat processing facility proposal to Cabinet by November 30th, 2025. As St. Lucia faces mounting global pressures, these interventions signal a firm commitment to food independence, resilience, and the revitalization of the local agriculture sector. From the Government Information Service, I am Nivalo Geist.
You're watching St. Lucia Magazine. We will be right back after a short break. Please, stay with us.
Adaptation. Save water, no food, tell everyone here at home. Prepare and plan and embrace adaptation. Time goes to stop and open our eyes. Temperature rise, sea level rise. Hurricane strong, flooding all around. Droughts getting long, we can let your rainwater. And we don't have too much control. Sometimes the waves is on the entire world, you know. Adapt, adapt, adapt.
Welcome back. 20 varieties of a popular food staple are being introduced in efforts to boost food security and crop diversity. Anisha Antoine reports.
Yam, a traditional crop with growing potential in St. Lucia, is now the focus of a major agricultural initiative as the government of St. Lucia continues efforts to diversify local agricultural production, with 20 varieties of yam being cultivated at the Tissue Culture Lab. This initiative, led by the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Food Security and Rural Development, in collaboration with the Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute, CARDI, and the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, ICA, began in December 2024, with the yam varieties sourced locally, as well as from 2 major agricultural research institutions in Guadeloupe. While some of the yam strains already existed in St. Lucia, others are hybrids and new introductions aimed at enhancing crop resilience and market potential. Country Representative for CARDI, Andre Innocent, says the plantlets currently undergoing multiplication through tissue culture are being propagated in a controlled environment to ensure clean, disease-free and high-quality planting material.
We contacted the French Agriculture Research Institute, INRA, and also CIRAD, and they were collaborative enough to work with us to deliver to us or send to us other gene plasm, other varieties of yams. Some of them we had not seen in St. Lucia in a long time, like the Caplo. I spoke to a few of the agronomists in St. Lucia, and these agronomists were saying to me that the Caplo in particular, they have not seen it in years. So that has been received from INRA, and also we got the 2 special varieties from CIRAD, the CIRAD 178 and the CIRAD 168, which are special yams. These yams are called water yams. They are called water yams because they have the ability to grow in dry conditions, in peak of drought. At the same time, they have the ability to grow or to produce or yield in waterlogged conditions.
Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries, Food Security and Rural Development, Honorable Alfred Prosper, says this initiative is part of the ongoing mission to improve food production, strengthen farmer resilience, and reduce dependency on imported staples. Minister Prosper expressed gratitude to CARDI, ICA, and colleagues in Guadeloupe who are making strides in modernizing St. Lucia's agriculture.
I have been hearing farmers complaining that it's very difficult to get a lot of the yam plants, the yellow yam and the skush kush and all the other white yams and other varieties that we've been producing many years ago but have been on the decline. And I'm very grateful as Minister for Agriculture because I do think this will be a very good initiative to boost our food security and for us to be able to ensure that we have all the commodities, the agricultural commodities, as I mentioned, yam, that would be available for consumption. I would like to know that soon from now I can go to the supermarkets and see not just dashing, not just tanya, not just green, not just bananas, but we can see a variety of those yams on the supermarket shelves.
Distribution to local farmers is expected to begin by December 2025, with the Ministry of Agriculture working to ensure widespread access to the improved varieties. From the Communications Unit of the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Food Security and Rural Development, I am Anicia Antoine.
And in more agriculture news, the government of St. Lucia aims to strengthen resilience in the fisheries sector via a project that aims to build capacity among fisherfolk and cooperatives. Here again is Anicia Antoine with the details.
As climate change increasingly threatens coastal communities and the livelihoods of fisherfolk, the government of St. Lucia has officially launched the Fish Adapt project aimed at strengthening resilience in the fisheries sector. Valued at approximately US $16.7 million and spanning 5 years, the project is the country's first nationally led initiative under the Green Climate Fund (GCF). The Fish Adapt project will focus on upgrading fish landing sites, building capacity among fisherfolk and cooperatives, and improving climate-informed decision-making systems to safeguard this vital sector. Permanent Secretary of the Department of Economic Development and Youth Economy and representative of the Green Climate Fund (NDA), Paul Hilaire, says the Fish Adapt is a testament to robust multi-agency collaboration with key institutional support from the Department of Sustainable Development, Department of Economic Development, and implementing guidance from the Food and Agriculture Organization.
As the NDA to the GCF, the Department of Economic Development has had the privilege of coordinating this effort, facilitating national consultations, supporting technical reviews, and ensuring coherence with St. Lucia's development and climate agendas. We are proud to witness this national movement, this national project movement into its implementation phase. The Fish Adapt is not just about infrastructure. It is about empowering communities, enhancing local capacities, and strengthening resilience at every level. It represents what we hope will be the first of many nationally led GCF investments, which are country-driven and inclusive of projects built to last.
Minister for Agriculture, Fisheries, Food Security and Rural Development, Honorable Alfred Prosper, says these efforts will directly benefit rural communities island-wide and significantly boost resilience in the face of climate irregularities.
This means a lot to our fishers for the storage of the fish and cleaning of the fish. And so I'm hoping that some of these funds will go to that, among other things. I just wanted to mention that because every time I engage them, those issues, challenges emerge. And I just want to mention that we have to make an attempt to address this. I want to thank the Ministry of Economic Development for doing all what was necessary to make this happen, because I remember in attending United Nations conferences representing this government, Green Climate Fund has been mentioned for almost 10 years. And I'm very happy today that St. Lucia can benefit from the resources available to help deal with our environmental problems and other issues confronting us as a country.
The Agriculture Ministry also underscores the broader importance of the project, noting that it aligns with St. Lucia's National Adaptation Plan and the Fisheries Sector Adaptation Strategy and Action Plan, ensuring that climate resilience remains a cornerstone of the country's sustainable development agenda. From the Communications Unit of the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Food Security and Rural Development, I am Anicia Antoine.
You're watching St. Lucia Magazine. When we come back, the Minister for Commerce speaks on a summer internship program for secondary school seniors. Anubuye Mamaila. The Ministry of Tourism, Investment, Creative Industries, Culture and Information is calling on you to display your St. Lucian pride every Friday. Vive la voz! We are calling on all St. Lucians to embrace their identity and to demonstrate their devotion, their love and pride for St. Lucian culture. So wear your colors, pink, red, peach and white, each and every Friday from July 25th to August 30th, 2025. And that's not all, because we're bringing the celebrations to an office near you as part of our Laos Public Service Drive. Let us foster a love for what is uniquely and distinctively ours, our culture, our heritage, our beautiful St. Lucia. Let's shine together. Let's glow together. Anubuye Mamaila. Welcome back. Students in Forms 4 and 5 have been given the opportunity to gain first-hand entrepreneurial experience at a 6-week summer internship program. The Minister for Commerce, Honorable Emma Hippolyte, spoke on the commencement of the SBDC Young Entrepreneurs in Action program.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pride that I announce the commencement of our SBDCA program. This is a collaboration between the Ministry of Commerce and the Ministry of Education. This year again, we will have about 100 students, secondary school students, being assigned to about 67 businesses throughout the country. It is a moment where our young persons will get practical experience in the business world. In the past, we have seen that they have benefited tremendously from this exercise, and in some cases have gotten employment and have chosen a career. I am particularly pleased that we are doing this, and I want to thank the Honorable Prime Minister and the Cabinet of Ministers for providing the funding for this particular project. I also want to take this moment to thank the business community who have agreed to partner with us in this endeavor. We are looking at fashion and textile, information technology, building technology, accounting, and it's a whole host of career opportunities. So I want to wish the young people well, and I want to say that it is again the government of St. Lucia putting our youth first.
And to end our broadcast, the Ministry of Health hosted an educational session for residents as part of a broader initiative that aims to improve health outcomes at foundational levels.
In an effort to combat one of the island's most pressing non-communicable diseases, Region 3, which includes the communities of Larissus, Rochefort, and Dennery, hosted a regional hypertension workshop at the Grand Riviere Resource Center. Held under the theme Measure Your Blood Pressure Accurately, Promoting a Longer and Healthier Life, the workshop is part of a larger initiative to educate and empower citizens on the importance of managing their blood pressure effectively. This community-based intervention is one of many under the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs' ongoing drive to improve health outcomes at the grassroots level. Public Health Nursing Supervisor for Region 3, Enda Antoine, explains how this initiative is helping to empower clients and strengthen hypertension care at the community level.
This initiative is geared at empowering our clients with hypertension to actively manage their conditions, improve their health outcomes, and enhance their quality of life. Those goals will be accomplished by equipping clients with knowledge, skills, and confidence to make informed decisions about their care. Region 3, which includes Rochefort, Larissus, and Dennery, has been identified as having the highest cases of diabetes and hypertension in St. Lucia. As a team, we understand the importance of helping our clients manage these conditions at home. These goals are accomplished through the assistance of the Taiwan Technical Mission.
Through interactive presentations and practical demonstrations, participants were introduced to essential topics such as understanding hypertension, accurate blood pressure measurement, and lifestyle changes.
When we speak about hypertension, nous parlons about maladie. Okay, pressure ka monter, et di pa descend côté ici pour descend, so docteur ne va oui mettre. Okay? Bon, pour ça comprendre ça, we have to understand two things. Uni cheu et uni blood vessels.
Family nurse practitioner Yasmina de Turville highlighted the importance of patient education and self-awareness in achieving better health outcomes.
This is a very important tool in managing your blood pressure. It's good that we have medication, very important as well. But you see, this will empower you to give you a way to make you feel good about yourself. You know, I take my pressure this morning, it is that. I take it yesterday, and when you write it in the book, in the back of your book, you watch it and you saying, oh wow, look at that, eh? Look at where I was before, and look at me now. Somebody say yes. Who said yes? You saw some changes, right? Exactly. So that's what you feel empowered.
The initiative also places emphasis on continued community support, with the involvement of trained community health aides playing a critical role in sustaining momentum.
Our committed community health aides will be continuing their regular home visits to ensure that the self-management initiatives is successful and that clients are continually recording their values using a guide to a healthy lifestyle. We are confident that through our collaborative efforts, we will have a healthier region in the years to come.
Health officials in Region 3 report a noticeable shift in how clients view their health since the rollout of the performance-based financing pilot project. The project encourages a results-driven approach to chronic disease management, and it is yielding significant behavioral changes. From the Communications Unit of the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs, I am Unika McCoy reporting.
And with that, we've come to the end of this edition of St. Lucia Magazine. Special thanks to all who contributed to this program, the NTN Network, the GIS team, and the communication officers from the various ministries. And thank you, our viewers, for joining us on NTN Channel 122 and on the official social media platforms of the Government of St. Lucia. I am Kishma Serie. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, as we look forward to more positive developments in the week ahead.